Titties.
God damn it. Today on the show, we discuss a man who's literally too angry to die.
Nice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lost Cantina, the only podcast that promises you 100% Darth Maul hot takes. I'm your host, Jaden.
And I'm Kevin.
And I am also Kevin.
K squared. We're
Indeed.
here.
We still haven't figured out the nickname thing. We're working on it. Leave it
J
in the
plus K squared equals TLC. I don't know. Math.
Under
I
loving
don't know.
care.
So today we talked about that trailer last week, and today we're gonna talk a little bit about Maul in the Clone Wars, because that's the
Yes.
whole thing, right? Like, he comes back in the Clone Wars, and we're gonna go a little bit more in depth of at least the first section. We're not gonna go over season 7, but we're gonna go over season 5 and 6. Because he has a pretty big role. He does have a pretty big role in season 7, but right now we're going to talk about the pretty big role of what he does in 5 and 6.
Yes.
Jaden, this was kind of wild to watch. It's kind of cool to see a character come back from the dead, quite literally.
Well, it's funny because, Kevin, you haven't really watched much Clone Wars.
Not a lot.
No,
And then,
he's
Kevin,
not a
you've
real
watched
fan.
a lot of Clone Wars.
I've watched all of it. All
And
of it.
I've
all
also
of it
watched
while it was
all of it.
airing when I was a wee lad, and I freaking loved it. Okay, every second of it, even the really campy like kiddie parts in the beginning, because we all know that it started kind of rough with the movie, and then it just progressively got better. You know, like you were saying before, Jaden, we were the only people who saw it in theaters.
Yeah,
So.
no, the three of us will be with all the theaters. George Lucas was like, he took, he made the first season. He was like, all right, parents, you see, it's just a fun show for kids. And then they left the room, and he's like, you want to see some real shit? Get ready for slavery and child murder.
I mean, I will say I've watched a decent amount now, and this is a kid's show. Like,
You're about to watch a man with no fucking legs get attached to a robot spider.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And honestly, one thing that's really cool for this one is, like, you know how in comic books, they always come up with some fuckery comic magic to bring somebody back to life, right?
Yeah.
Star Wars, usually it's like, oh, we're going to bring you back to life as a Force ghost. Oh, you're a Sith. You're going to not really be brought back to life, but you're going to be like, kind of your essence is part of an object. No, this one was like, let's bring him back to life. Let's make it so he never died.
Yeah.
And he's a fucking psycho. Like, it's,
So Dave Filoni has been accused of not liking to get rid of his toys. I think this is the first example of that, but I also blame Lucas for it, because Lucas had like his whole like, maybe I'll do a sequel trilogy with Darth Maul as the main villain.
Well, to be fair, the way Maul died and his presence in episode 1 was not exactly like, the best in terms of character development. So this was a smart move on Lucas's part.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just like, disappear like Ben Solo. He doesn't, so it's kind of easier to justify bringing him back like this. Like, he could have survived. He didn't like blow up in a reactor shaft like Palpatine, but somehow he returned. But we don't talk about that.
Dude, that's the thing, is that people are always like, how did Satine survive that lightsaber duel? Like, she got stabbed, but everything's fine. I'm like, motherfucker got thrown down an exhaust port in half. And you guys have no problem with that one?
Yeah, I mean, in recent lore, lightsaber stabs are like, it's like getting stabbed with like a fucking like pocket knife at this point. It's like, it's not like, in the old days when you actually die when you get stabbed. You could say, oh, it's because you missed the spinal cord. That's why. Yeah.
Let me tell you, his spinal cord was definitely severed.
Oh yeah.
That's
oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get into like how he comes back and all that shit, we're gonna do that housekeeping we all love. Please email us at thelostcantinapod@gmail.com. You can also find us on all your socials. We've got now some people talking about coming on the show, doing guest spots, that kind of stuff. We're into it. Like, we want to hang out. We want to talk some Star Wars. As long as you're not a jerk, I mean, I'm into it. So yeah. You can reach us, and please do. Seriously, like, this is going to be so much fun doing Maul. We just watched
Kevin's
the Grogu
dating
trailer.
life model as well.
Yeah, we just watched the Grogu trailer too, and that was
sick. That was a very promising
really,
trailer.
really
It was
cool.
most impressive.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. But
We'll talk about that in a later episode, hopefully.
So we're gonna get into it. But before we do, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, for those who are watching us, this is what we do. We just sit here, and then we say this. All right, cool. So let's get into it. Yeah, right. All right, so let's talk about Maul. So basically, he has his brother, which we talked about in the last episode. He does have a brother.
The epic edgelord with the most fucking emo name imaginable, Savage Oppress. He is savage and oppressed. It's like me in high school.
Yeah, he is an emo bro. He starts out as like a skinny, like, little emo dude, and then he takes his trial test, and Mother Talzin is like, all right, cool. You want some steroids? Here's some magic steroids. He gets fucking jacked, and he's just like psycho, and his horns are big, and he's a nut.
Do you guys think that in the writer's room they were trying to come up with a name to match Darth Maul, and like one person was just like, hey, what if we call him like Savage? And someone went,
oh,
say that again.
for sure. For sure.
No.
George was like, who is the most emo, most like edgiest guy in the room? You with the emo cut. I want a name on my desk tomorrow, 9 a.m. Make it happen.
And he went, boss, you're so oppressive. That's it. That's the name.
That's the name.
Love it.
All right, so basically what happens is this guy, he gets told that his brother's alive, right? Like, Mother Talzin is like, hey, I got a vision. Check this shit out. Your brother, he lives. And basically he goes on this little quest to try to find him. And he's got this little, like, medallion thing that glows.
It's like the Witcher amulet that like vibrates when he's near.
Yeah. And there's this, he goes to this like trash planet. And I'm talking like trash.
It reminds me of Raxus Prime from The Force Unleashed 1.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about that when Kevin we were watching it. I was like, does this remind you of Raxus Prime? Minus the acid rain.
Dude,
there's acid rain. Yeah.
I love the fact that there's more than one junk world in Star Wars. That makes me kind of happy.
I'm sure there's many. I mean, with all the garbage in the galaxy, like especially Coruscant with how much garbage that planet probably produces, man.
One could argue that Coruscant itself is a trash planet. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.
That's a political joke, folks.
But yeah, no. So he's living underground. His brother finds him. He's living underground, and he's got this whole spider body thing going on, and his horns have like, how like if you let your nails grow too long, that's kind of what's going on with his horns. His horns are like all fucky and like really long, and then he's got this spider body. And
was anyone else's first reaction to that like, ew, it does that, when you saw his fucking horns were all grown out?
Do you think
it was kind of?
Do you think he just like, when he was like Sidious's apprentice, he would just kind of like file down his nails in the morning, like?
That's what I'm saying. Dude, he's just sitting there on the ship, like, hold on, it's one's like he's gotta make sure they're even. It's like, is that one even? Are we good? Anybody?
It's like, damn it, I took too much off the top. He follows this little snake guy, and he like leads him to him.
Yeah. So I'm curious about this though. How do you guys feel about the fact that like when he's found, he's like absolutely fucking bonkers? Like, cause he's so like in episode 1 when we meet him, he's really like serious and quiet. He doesn't talk much, and he speaks really, really slowly and concise. And he's like, "Yes, master." And now
the 5 lines he says.
He's like fucking psycho.
Listen,
he's freaking out.
I have to say it again. George Lucas is amazing at making cool characters and then not knowing what the fuck to do with them afterwards.
Yes,
Boba Fett,
I agree.
Darth Maul.
He's great at world building, but he's like really bad at like sort of like piecing it together and like transitioning that properly, like in the space between that's empty. Like good character. How do we?
I'm an idea guy. You figure it out.
Exactly. He's great at world building, but like he surrounds himself with these geniuses like Dave Filoni. You know, they and back to your question, Kev. Yes, I think that him going bonkers like that is completely acceptable. You know, like in a real life situation. I mean, you'd be stuck on a fucking, like, imagine being, you know, you'd be like stuck on a stranded island. You'd be like Tom Hanks from Castaway. You know, you fucking just go insane, start talking to inanimate objects.
You start talking to that weird snake fuck, and you start getting crazy.
Master, I'm here for my leftovers.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So basically, he's found.
By the way, that's implied that Maul was eating people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Cannibalizing just any alien that comes down there. That's insane.
He's
That's
insane.
Psycho. I mean, there was those dead like trash people that Savage found in that little hut. And then he got pissed and he was like, "You lied to me, he's dead." He starts freaking out, and the snake guy's like, "Ha, no you." And then he just presses the button and he fucking falls through the hole. Yeah. So, it could stand to reason he would be like
where's
eating those
snake
people.
guy at? Get him off the planet. Let's have him hang out.
Well, he
basically-
dies. Savage just chokes him out and stabs his
I
neck.
know.
And then he throws him
Snake
on the
guy.
fire, and he's like, "We're going to have Snake tonight, brother."
I was supposed to be you, fuck!
So after this, his brother kind of convinces him, like, "Hey, I am real. I am not a figment of your imagination. Let's get you off this planet." And so they get off the planet, and his brother is like, "Yo, like, what the fuck happened to you, man?" And so obviously he kind of goes a little crazy, and he's like, "Kenobi, you're fucking Kenobi." He's like, he's literally all he can think about. Basically, his brain is broken, and all he wants to do is kill Kenobi. And he even says, like, he says to his brother, I have the quote here. It's, "I was apprenticed to the most powerful being in the galaxy once. I was destined to become so much more, but I was robbed of that destiny by the Jedi, by Obi-Wan Kenobi." And then his brother's like, "Then you must have your revenge, my brother." And he goes, "Yes, we shall start with revenge." So basically, he kind of I don't want to say he brings his brother back, because he doesn't bring his brother back per se, because basically he has to bring him to Talzin first, and she basically she does this really cool thing where she like rips out the essentially she rips out the insanity out of his brain. You see her like pull out
the robot legs.
Why can't my therapist do that to me? I want to go see her. Does she take insurance? Can you take away my trauma, please?
It's kind of crazy though, because he like literally like becomes sane again, and he becomes super like stoic kind of in style of speech and stuff. It's kind of cool.
You can thank Sam Witwer for that.
now.
Sam's performance is amazing.
Oh, he's fucking amazing. And then he gets his legs back too. Not his actual legs. She gives him like robot legs.
Robot
and gets rid of
legs.
his spider.
They look like Grievous's legs a little bit.
Yeah, they're very
exactly
kind of
what they're
like dinosaur-like, like bird dinosaur-ish, like a little bit.
I always thought it was interesting that they abandoned that for later seasons of him.
Yeah, they gave him kind of like normal legs. Well, his legs got shot off when they were fighting against Hondo's pirates.
Yeah.
It's easier to animate. That's all. That's like all it really.
That's
is.
probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is he is now like, "Hey, I'm gonna, fuck up Obi-Wan," right? Like that's his whole plan. Is he's like, all he wants to do is fuck up Obi-Wan Kenobi. So he ends up like doing this thing where he like lures Obi-Wan Kenobi by killing a bunch of civilians. Like he goes to a planet with his brother and like just kills a bunch of people. That's what Maul does.
A planet that Hondo just happens to be on as well.
Oh yeah. Well, so he fucks these people up, and then Kenobi shows up, and because he finds out that it's Maul, right? Like he sends out a thing to say like, "Hey, this is Maul. This is me. Come get me, bro. Come at me, homie." And his brother though has also got a bounty on his head, and Ventress, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go fuck up his brother," and they both end up showing up together, and he gets captured. Like Obi-Wan gets captured.
Well, Ventress doesn't want to fuck up Savage. She just wants to collect the bounty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because you see her like in the cantina, and all these bounty hunters are just going through like people, and they're like, nah, and then they like look at Savage, and they're like, what kind of fucking name is that? Like, who's this Savage Opress? And like even they're just kind of like, what the fuck, that name, man. But he's worth over like 1 million credits or something. So they're just like, let's do it, and then Ventress is like, I can do this. And that
one's mine.
Yeah, basically.
I thought it was cool though that like when Obi-Wan Kenobi is like, what the fuck, you're alive? And like I thought that was cool because then he doesn't have a lightsaber because they take it, and like we see like this sick ass fucking fight in like a little cargo thing, and like
they fight him in his ship, and then he's just like, he pulls out the Thanos line. He's just like, I should have aimed for your head when I cut you in half.
It was like,
dude. We didn't talk enough about the just like Obi-Wan being like, how the like I missed? What do you mean I missed? I cut you in half.
Yeah,
he's like, bro, how what happened? He's like, my hatred for you. He's like kind of like tweaking a bit. He's like, my hatred for you, and it's like, okay, oh shit, what the fuck?
This might be actually, this is probably not a hot take, but this is probably something that you guys probably agree with. I think Obi-Wan missed a chance to say, you know, while he's fighting him, he's just like, I see you're half the man you used to be.
Yeah, that feels like an Obi-Wan line.
That is such an Obi-Wan line. Yeah, yo, he should have just kept dropping, like, joke after joke, pissing him off more and more and more.
He had, like, the perfect opportunity to just, like, rag on him over and over and over again. And, I mean...
That's what Obi-Wan does.
That's what he does.
I must say, Maul, it only takes half as much effort to get you angry this time.
Yeah, like there's so many fucking jokes.
How do you go to the bathroom? And then she just fucking, you know, appears out of nowhere, and is just like, you know, saying like, oh look, it's the fucking Knight Brothers clan rejects. What's going on? And then they're just like,
yeah, because she's from
a witch. Yeah, she's a witch.
She was already has that.
She was taken from Dathomir. I mean, I know this is, we're trying to stay on topic here, but her origin story is she was taken by a Jedi from Dathomir, and her master got killed, and she was like so like distraught about it. She didn't go back to the Order. She got like picked up by Dooku, and then was trained as his assassin. She just kept failing in like every fucking episode. She was like the Team Rocket of the Clone Wars, and so Dooku really was like, man, fuck off, and now she's a bounty hunter.
But like the thing that's cool about her though, one thing that I thought was interesting about her is like, so like Maul, you know, like they come from Dathomir where women are above men, right? Mm-hmm. It's the opposite of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, that's why Savage is oppressed by the you know, the witches.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
It's what Zoran Mondami's gonna do to New York in like 6 months.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so here's the thing. So like when she shows up and she starts talking smack, right? It kind of pisses them off even more because it's like this fucking Dathomir bitch is talking shit.
Well, and also Maul's like she knows like too much. She's witnessed too much. Like we need to go get her. So they try to hunt her down, and while this is happening, she just jumps down. Kenobi's like half dead, and she's like, Kenobi, wake up! Like I can't believe you let these assholes like take you out. And then he's just like, did you fucking see that dude? He's like fucking jacked.
Did you hear his name? He's both savage and an oppressor.
Yeah, exactly. You know how much? Did you see him? He's like 2 of me. Okay, and so she gives him her lightsaber, and he's just like, don't worry, I'll give it back. Red is not my color, which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then they start fighting, you know, and it's pretty sick. Maul overwhelms him anyway while Ventress is fighting Savage. But they get away by detaching the cockpit section of this ship. There's like 2 test sections of the ship that can be piloted. They get into this like little escape pod looking thing, and then they escape. So then, you know, Maul and Savage. Well, Savage goes to Maul, and he's just like, "What do? We failed. Like, should we go after them?" And he's like, "No. We need to like, you know, make some money. We need to seize power. We need to basically start his journey to creating his crime syndicate, which eventually is the Black
This
Sun.
is the beginning.
But this is the very
Yeah, this
beginning.
is
He
the
wants to go
start.
after like the Pikes. He wants to go after, the Hutts. He wants to go after everybody out there, and he wants to just basically use them as pull to give Kenobi more of a reason to come after him. Okay, and including like eventually finding Duchess Satine, which he through going to Mandalore after this. He uses her as bait to get him to go to Mandalore during the first Mandalorian takeover.
The cool thing about this is even though he's fucking psycho,
He's smart.
And he's really he's letting his emotions kind of dictate quite a lot of shit here. He is calculative, right? Like he is so how can I plan?
He knows the right amount of anthills to kick over to cause enough chaos.
Well, no, I think what you're trying to say here, Kev,
piss off.
is he's not letting his emotions cloud his tactical ability to plan. Like he knows what he wants, but he's not like Vader. He's not just I'm fucking pissed off. I'm going to kill you. Make a straight beeline, horse blinders on. I'm not gonna ignore everything around me. He's like, how can I manipulate these people to get where I want to be and also make some money and get allies? Because he knows Sidious is right now. He knows he's Supreme Chancellor and he is the most powerful man in the galaxy right now.
Well, that's the
so
thing.
he's trying to get that power to potentially overthrow Sidious and also take out Obi-Wan.
That's the interesting thing about the Sidious side of things is I genuinely think that he's he might be I'll take on Sidious. He's I'm fucking terrified of that thing. I gotta deal with my Kenobi grudge. Maybe I can eventually get powerful enough to attack him, but there's nothing going on for me right now. I need cash. I need people to work for me. And I need it now. And
and that's kind of the thing is he knows what he has to do. He already kind of has it planned because they go to a ship, they steal some cash from the ship, and then they go and they try to recruit some guys,
some pirates, Hondo's pirates.
Hondo pirates.
Which, by the way, I just want to say their ships are so stereotypically alien. They're just flying saucers, legitimately flying saucers, and they spin. And then me and Kevin watching this, and I was like, "Look at their ships," and he was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's War of the Worlds, man. It's not even fucking Star Wars anymore."
So, it makes me laugh because I remember there are people with their whole chests talk about Andor and then being like, "Oh, there's an AK-47 as one of the blasters. That's so lazy." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, there are flying saucers."
Dude, they used World War I and II guns in the original trilogy. They used Bren machine guns. Fucking they used STG German 44
flying
guns.
Mustang fighters.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Say that again?
In Ahsoka season 1, they were flying Mustang fighters, P-51 Mustangs.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, just go back and look at them. They're literally just P-51 Mustangs.
He's looking it up right now. He's like, I gotta know.
It's gonna blow your mind.
Now.
Holy fuck! Oh my god, that is fucking sick.
They're dope as fuck.
My god, I got a nerdgasm. This is this is great. I love it. Thank you for that, Jaden.
Absolutely. This is what I'm saying. Like Star Wars reuses shit. Get over yourself. There's nothing's original.
Yeah.
Star Wars itself is 6 different samurai movies smashed into one.
Yeah, I was watching an interview of the props master for the original trilogy, and George was just like, I want you to make something, make these into alien guns. I don't care how you do it. So he's just like, I don't have a large budget. This is A New Hope. We only have a couple $1,000s. How about I just go to my gun broker down the block, and be like, you got any surplus shit? And he's like, yeah, I got a big fucking crate of old shit and over there in the back. He takes a fucking broom-handled German pistol, puts a flash hider on it, and he puts 2 scopes, and he's like, "Alien gun!"
Yeah.
and then George comes in, and his exact words were, George just looked at it in silence, picked it up, and he's like, "Yeah, back then George didn't really talk that much. He just looked at it, and he was just kind of like, okay." And then that was it. That was it. That was the seal of approval. And there we go. There we go.
In his mind, Lucas had like 17 notes, right? But he's like, I only have $10,000 left in this budget. I can't make him redesign this again.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's like, this has to work. Make it work, please. And it did.
Well, dude, like, I mean, fucking all of the Stormtrooper guns were just old Sten guns that they just like chopped up, and we're like, fuck it, that looks good enough to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny that you say that because Maul has, you know, his own money that he is limited on at the moment. So he's trying to hire people.
Yep. So he bribes the Honda Onaka's half of his pirate syndicate to work for Maul, and he just says like, you know, here is a safe full of like a couple thousand credits. If you work for me, this will be yours, and power. And they're just like, who are you? And he's just like, we are lords of crime. Or he says something like that. He's like, we are crime lords. He doesn't say he's a Sith Lord. He's like, we're crime lords with lightsabers. And they're just like,
pretty much.
They're just kind of like, okay. No questions asked.
They were like, what kind of Jedi are you? And they're like, oh, Jedi? We are no Jedi.
Yeah. He's like, we are lords. And then Savage is like, we're lords of crime.
Maul, what the fuck's a lord?
Yeah.
Right? But it's just kind of cool because then Hondu gets pissed because they kind of go after Hondu and they're like, oh, well, you know, we want all the guys. We got to recruit all these dudes.
And they know Hondo
Obi-Wan
has a ton of
shows up.
cash too because he's a pirate and he's sitting on a bunch of cash at his base on this planet.
Yep. And they convince this situation convinces Obi-Wan to show up, which is kind of cool because it's like a little foreshadowing to the Mandalorian war that Maul creates because he sees like, oh, I created a conflict, Obi-Wan showed up.
Yep.
So later down the line, like obviously this conflict ends, they don't win. They do kill one of the Jedi with Obi-Wan.
I forgot her name. I think her name is like Depa Balaba. I think. I forgot.
Gesundheit? I don't like.
No, but literally, I don't know. I might be actually. I think Depa Balaba is the Jedi Master to Kanan Jarrus to Caleb Doom.
Oh,
I think you're.
Yeah,
I don't even
honestly,
know.
I forgot her name. She's the one with the weird like fucking.
She's
like
one of those
ball sacks on her
guys.
head.
She's
Whatever.
just, like,
you
there
only
for
see her
10
once.
seconds.
Yeah.
Before, yeah.
She gets horned.
She ends up.
She gets horned.
Yeah, she gets horned.
Yeah.
She gets
Yeah,
horned.
Savage gets horny. He's just like, oh, with his head and fucking penetrates her and kills her.
Whoa. Okay.
Penetration on the first date. Don't mind if you do.
So basically, what happens is his legs get fucked up. He gets shot, and then like the little mystic magic comes out of his legs, and
he feels pain, which is weird.
Yeah, which is kind of cool and weird. But they fake their own death, and Obi-Wan's kind of like, I don't think they're dead. But basically, what happens is they escape. But this is when Maul kind of realizes, ooh, okay, I can create something like a conflict, whatever, draw him in, force him to have to fight. This is kind of like the start of it, right? Like of that kind of master plan that he creates. And so what does he do again? He's like, let me go recruit some more motherfuckers. And he goes to like the Black Sun, and it's so funny because he's standing there with guys that still stayed with him, and he's just like, I want to negotiate. We're going to talk about you guys joining us and da-da-da. And the whole group of them are standing there, and they're like...
Wait, he doesn't go to the Black Sun. He goes to Death Watch. Is that what,
Death Watch.
Yes,
Yeah,
the Black
Death
Sun is way later. By the way, her name is
Blake-
Adi Gallia. That's her name. Adi Gallia. That's
Of course,
the Jedi.
My favorite
sure,
Jedi. How did I
She
forget?
she was in the Battle of Geonosis for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. But yeah, so...
She
like,
too
the
has a
kills,
7-page Wikipedia.
yeah, right.
Love that lore building. Give me all those books.
The kills, though. The kills that they do, like, they kill a whole committee of, like, you know, syndicate guys, right? They fucking, like, decapitate them. And this is, like, to me, I was like, whoa, this is, like, graphic. Because you see it, and you're like...
Well, you kind of like see like their the bottom below the neck. They're like they fall to the ground. But yes, I mean you again. This was a different time. This was like 2009, 10, 11. Okay, this was different. This was when cartoons were like good. Okay,
Good.
Oh, yeah.
they were good. Yeah. So he Pre Vizsla, not Tar Vizsla. Pre Vizsla, the descendant of Tar Vizsla, who is the only Mandalorian to become a Jedi in the Jedi Order. He is his descendant, does not like Duchess Satine because she believes in peace and tranquility and democracy and voting and, you know, all this good stuff because she doesn't like the very savage and violent history of Mandalore. their warrior past. Pre Vizsla wants to bring that back.
Yeah.
So Maul's using this opportunity to be like, I can help you do that because I am a lord of crime who has a lightsaber and I can use the force and I'm a violent guy and I agree with you. Let's fucking do this. So then, Pre Vizsla's like, okay, let's fucking do this. And he goes, in exchange for helping you, you give me Obi-Wan. Okay? And take it away, Kevin.
Well, that's when he decides, like, okay, we got to create a crime syndicate. We got to and so they start going, like, door to door. They visit the huts. They visit all these different crime syndicates and try to, like, recruit them to their side. And none of them are like, yeah, we'll join you. No, like, yeah,
because why would they? Who the fuck are you? You just showed up and you're like, give me all your shit?
He's just a guy.
Exactly. And instead, he basically asserts his dominance and just has everybody killed. And then, like, you're in charge now, to the random in the room, and he's like, "You gonna join us?" And they're like, yeah.
The
so
savagery
he's, like, recruiting through force.
The savagery that he did is what we all wanted Boba Fett to do in the Boba Fett show, instead of just being like, I don't know, I'm a soft guy now, just help people. I'll kind of be mean.
There's parts of Boba Fett like I defend because I still like Boba Fett as a character, but god damn, dude, like, turn him into Tony Soprano in space. Was that so fucking hard?
Whoa. Are you saying he was Tony Soprano?
No, I wanted him to be.
Okay.
He wanted him to be.
I was going to say, all right?
Like, make him Tony Soprano in space. Don't make him fucking AJ in space. Jesus.
Choose your words wisely. Kevin is going to go Brooklyn on your ass real quick.
Yeah.
Better watch it. But that's the thing is, he does it by force. He really is,
no
like,
pun intended.
Showcasing, like... Yeah. He's really... He's showcasing, his psycho side, but he's very aggressive. And when they go to Mandalore, basically that's what happens. Is he convinces he shows up with the Death Watch, right?
Yep. And he goes to Pre Vizsla, who's the leader.
And he's like, hey, well, no. He goes to Mandalore. Like, they go with Death Watch, and they're like, hey, you guys, you should step down. Like, we need to do this whole warrior mentality. Like, they try to go back to that whole thing. They're trying to convince Duchess Satine and all that. And
at this point, Bo-Katan is with Death Watch at this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the timeline.
And it's not, obviously it's not going to work. And so what they have is they get the crime syndicate to invade the planet, essentially, right? And the goal is to play the sides of, we are attacking, so we're going to have our guys, the Death Watch, basically look like the good guys and capture capture the crime syndicate. Because if you notice, none of the Death Watch guys kill any of the crime syndicate people. They stun them and arrest them. And that's like very like that's like a hint that you should be paying attention to. But he essentially convinces the planet that the Death Watch are what they need, because
Duchess Satine is too soft.
She's too weak.
She's letting
right?
they're twisting the story, making it look like Duchess Satine can't, like, defend her own people, her own planet.
Yeah.
Through her peaceful means.
Yeah.
There are still some people who do, like, root for her, and they do agree with her, and they come in a little later in the story as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, so then he ends up getting his own politician, right? On his side, to be essentially he helps speak for the Death Watch, right?
Yes. He's actually ruling the planet. And
yeah, eventually when Duchess Satine basically is bye-bye, when she has to step down, essentially, it's, what's her name?
Bo-Katan.
Well, what's the guy's name that he chooses?
You know, it's funny, I actually forgot. I
forgot his name.
I forgot, and I know who you're talking about. She threw him in prison because he was doing shady shit on the black market.
Dickhead politician.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just an asshole politician. And his brother is like his muscle, right? Like, it's him and his brother, and then, like, he's got the Death Watch people. And so basically what happens
his name is Almec.
Now that the Death Watch,
Prime Minister Almec.
No,
sorry. He was the Prime Minister of Mandalore.
Yeah, so what
that's him.
happens is Maul is obviously a Sith, right? He's not going to honor jack shit because they don't do that. And that was one of the things that like Duchess or not Duchess Satine.
Olmec?
Oh my God, what? No, what's her name?
Bo-Katan?
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan is like in the beginning. She's like, the Jedi kind of fucked us over. I don't really trust these guys. And
They also like after the Jedi Mandalorian Wars, they wrote a treaty that basically like states the Jedi will not be involved in anything Mandalore, like, and they will not be a part of the Republic. Which again, like, when we'll talk about it later, but it feeds into season 7, whatever. Well, all the shit that happens in season 7. But yeah, as of right now, there is a treaty saying that the Jedi are basically like, fuck off. Like you're never coming to this planet again. We had a crazy world war for a thousand years ago. No Jedi allowed on the planet.
Well, but that's the thing though. So she doesn't trust him already, and what we end up getting is he shows his true colors and is like, yeah, I was not going to honor our agreement at all, actually. And so he challenges
Pre Vizsla.
What's his face? Yeah, Pre Vizsla to a duel, right? Essentially, kicks his fucking ass.
Because of course.
And yeah, like kicks his ass and gets the Darksaber and is like, essentially now he's in charge. And that's when he gets this one dude to become his prime minister. And he's like, rule my people for me. Yeah. Right? Because he doesn't give a shit about ruling. He just wants Kenobi to show up.
Yeah.
So his whole thing is he's going to build this conflict to get Kenobi to show up. And so he had to take over the planet to kind of like, cause a ruckus. But once he takes over the planet, he's visited, like, news of this happens. Because the whole thing is like, nobody in the Jedi Order wants to go to Mandalore to like stop him. Like they're hearing about what's going on, but they don't get permission, right? And it is frustrating for Maul because he's like, what the fuck? Like this is supposed to like, where is he?
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there real quick because I always get this question: how does Maul know that Satine and Obi-Wan were a thing? Like, how does he know that getting that torturing Satine would make Obi-Wan suffer? I don't think it's ever explained. Does he like learn this off screen, or am I missing something?
I think,
or does he get like a vision like he does in season 7?
He's getting a fuck ton of visions.
Honestly,
yeah, he just gets tons of visions for some reason.
I think what it is that he has like the like he probably like found the records of like Obi-Wan's service history or whatever.
Oh, when he was a Padawan.
Like, he spent a lot of time on Mandalore when he was young. If I attack Mandalore and I take over this planet, that should get him to come because he might have a connection to this planet. I don't think he knew the Satine connection was that strong.
Well,
until it got closer, and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, I can use this.
Yeah,
this will make him."
Because remember,
well, maybe he knows that he protected Duchess Satine because Obi-Wan was on like a 5-year mission to protect Satine for many years, and Qui-Gon just kind of like fucked off back to the Jedi Temple. He's just like, your job is to protect this Duchess who's like, he's like a teenager at this point. He's like 17, 18. She's the same age. And then they fall in love, and maybe this is in like the records of Mandalore somewhere where he was her bodyguard.
Also, we're totally forgetting Prime Minister Fuckface could have just told him.
Oh yeah, Olmec could have said something. Yeah.
Well,
like, Maul's like, how do I get Kenobi to show up? And Olmec's like,
my lord Obi-Wan was clapping cheeks with the Duchess about 10 years ago.
Half the reason I went crazy is because they were fucking every night, and I went insane from all the noise.
Jesus fucking Christ.
My God.
All I know about Obi-Wan Kenobi is that he's good at laying pipe and laying back whiskey. That's all I know. He drinks and he fucks.
Hello there.
Man, Jaden, what is up with you today? You're really going.
Did you also have 4 shots of espresso?
Unfortunately not. This is just how my twisted brain works.
God, it's that time of night. It's that time of night.
Well, don't forget though, here's the other crazy thing. It's a coincidence that they get picked up by the Mandalorians. Like, that is pure coincidence. Like, if you want, it was, done by the Force, whatever. Because once like the whole fight with Hondo, like they're stuck on a ship, they're freezing to death, they're like just stuck there, and then the Mandalorians pick them up, and that's how they end up meeting the Death Watch. So like that's what's fucking crazy is this whole thing was
The will of the Force.
Just a coincidence.
The will of the Force.
Force works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
They must
But
kill the hot
speaking
blonde
of-
chick. We'll find a way.
Oh God, Jaden. Speaking of,
You're gonna
the
make this hard
Force-
to edit later. Stop.
No, I'm keeping all this shit in. Are you crazy? But speaking of the Force, right? There's a Force user who, like, now he's paying attention to what the fuck's going on Mandalore, and it is none other than Darth Sidious. So he decides to make a little, hey neighbor, I'm just gonna come over and say hi.
Which my favorite thing about that entire episode that Sidious shows up, not once is Maul like, I got this.
No. He
No.
immediately
The entire
pulled the whole
time.
I haven't felt a presence like this since, and he goes, Master,
Yeah.
I've built all of this for you, my master. You know?
Yeah. But the thing is, Palpatine is just like, oh, really? For me? Cool. And he just kind of looks around and he realizes that, like, his brother doesn't bow to him. His brother's not doing any of that
He
shit.
doesn't
So
even
he's just
know
like,
who he is. He's just kind of like, why
Exactly.
is my brother bowing to this old man?
Why did
You know?
brother? Why did you piss yourself?
Yeah. It shows, though, that
You don't
he
even have a
hasn't-
dick. How did you pee?
Oh, God.
Again,
shows,
missed
though, that-
opportunities for jokes here. Come on, Sidious. Say it. The half the
I
man
know.
joke. Come on, somebody. Killing me here.
But here's the thing. The fact that he's standing shows that Maul has not spoken about him. He has not informed him who he is. He has not, like, when he says, I built this for you. No, you haven't. You have not.
That
because
is
he
such
would
a
know.
funny omission. Like, hey, we're gonna take over the galaxy. By the way, there's a guy who will instantly stop us.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it shows, he kind of, like, it's the tell, right? It's the thing that gives Maul away. And because Maul's cunning, Maul's a good liar, like all that shit. But his brother gives him away. And so Palpatine is like, oh, really? For me, you're not my apprentice. You're my competition.
Calls him a rival.
And
And then he
Yes,
mentions
calls
the
him a
rule
rival.
of two. He's just like, you know how this goes. There cannot be more than two. Because that's how we all, fucked ourselves over thousands of years ago because we all got power hungry and we just kept killing each other. So,
and that's the thing. He's like, I'm going to start fighting him right away. And Palpatine doesn't even, he doesn't even hesitate. He fucks them up.
he throws a crazy force push cheap shot, like right in the beginning, up against the stained
Dude, he
glass
uses
window.
lightsabers.
Okay, we got to talk about this though. The funniest thing in the world about this episode is this: Sidious fights Mace Windu in episode 3, right?
Mhm.
His lightsaber clearly flies out the window. He then has a lightsaber when he fights Yoda. And everyone goes, where did he get that lightsaber? Because it flew out the window. This is how they answer that question.
Is that why
This
he
is
has
lit-
two?
That's why
Is
he
that
has
why
two.
He has two.
That is
Yep.
why he
Wow.
has two.
So if that just
That's why
didn't
he got 'em.
happen, then he would just have one. Okay, that's
Math.
Yes, math.
Lucas
Yes.
was like, George Lucas sitting there like he was mad at people asking him questions about, I don't know where he got the other lightsaber from. Who cares? And then Filoni said, don't worry, boss, I got this.
Don't worry, Filoni. We shall have two of them.
He fucks them up. And he
Effortlessly.
kills his brother. And when,
Like effortlessly.
yeah, he doesn't even really try. He just fucks them up completely. He kills his brother.
My favorite move is when
and-
Maul or Savage Force pushes him off that like ledge, and then he just uses the Force and pulls them both with him. That was so sick. That was like
was so cool.
That was he's like, if I'm going down, you guys are going down with me. And if you've noticed in the background, I think that mural they're fighting in front of is like a mural of Tar Vizsla, because there's lightsabers in there, and he's like fighting in the Jedi Mandalorian War. I think, I'm not 100% sure. I just always thought of that as like, oh, that is like their past, their warrior past when they fought against the Jedi.
Yeah.
And that is just such a cool backdrop of that. And
One of the
I
things that's
think
really-
I think in the Mandalorian show, when they go to like when the Mandalorian he like baptizes himself in the water, right? To basically wash away his sins of taking off his helmet and shit. I think behind them is like a crumbled the crumbled mural is behind them. I think.
Oh,
At least I think. I'm not 100% sure, but and I may be just looking at it wrong, but that's what I think that area was.
That's the iconography of that whole like battle would definitely be spread all throughout Mandalore. That's their entire history. Like this pacifism shit is like 10, 15 years old. Like every time before that, they are just warrior to the core.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're essentially the Star Wars Saiyans. Like that's really what they are.
Yeah,
their insignia is literally like a fucking monster on their planet. That's like a badass that just rips and tears through everything.
One thing that's really interesting too about this fight is Maul basically tells his brother like he has this whole time. He's like, "Yeah, sure, you're my brother, but you're not. You're my apprentice." Yeah. And so to Maul, he's losing his apprentice and his brother, and he does give a shit about him.
Yeah, he does actually care about him a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
And the rule of two is really kind of cool here because basically Palpatine is he force lightnings and tortures Maul, and the episode ends where he's like, "I'm not going to kill you. I got plans for you." And that's a big thing here.
So that was the part of the episode that I got the most excited for when he was like, "I have plans for you," and then
it ends.
They just they did it in comic form.
Yes, they did. Yep, they did. Palpatine brings him to in a nutshell, without talking too much about it, because that leads into season 7. But he brings him to a prison on another planet, and he brings Dooku there, and they basically torture him for information. That's important to the Clone Wars. And then Death Watch and Prime Minister Almec, who is, he's like Almec is the actual ruler of Mandalore. And Maul's like a figurehead, like the Shogun and the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
And so he breaks him out. Almec breaks him out with the Death Watch, brings him back to Mandalore, locks down the planet, and Sidious is kind of like, all right, whatever. I guess the situation will kind of just resolve itself. I need to focus more on the Clone Wars. There was a lot more that happens, but that's basically the gist of it in comic form.
I have a feeling they were planning on showing that in the Clone Wars itself.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why they just didn't do it.
What I think happened is this is about the time that Disney bought them. This is about the time that they were acquired. That's why we got like season 6 was like the lost episodes. And then like they just had like a bunch of like almost finished episodes. They were like, fine, finish them, whatever, we're good, finish them, and that'll be it.
I thought the lost episodes were the ones with the old Sith Lords from Knights of the Republic.
That was a part. There was like
part of it.
Yeah, season 6 was called the lost episodes. It was like the episodes that they had almost finished.
Yeah.
And then that was how they were like, that's it though, that we're not doing any more. And then they were like, Dave Filoni was like, well, hey, Rebels was successful. What if I just like finished Clone Wars?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why season 7 was just the god tier that it was. So we never. Yeah. So I think you had to pick and choose his darlings. Like there was that whole like, you can find them online. They're like those unfinished like Clone Wars episodes of like Anakin and Obi-Wan like gunslinging through a building.
There was one of them talking on like outside of like a campfire. And stuff.
He was like, "I'll never ever betray you.
I love you. I'll never."
That one should have been in. That one should have been included in season 7. They should have just done that episode.
It was such a quick little scene. They should have just done that. I don't know why. It was when they were looking for Ahsoka, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, they were talking about her leaving the Order or something.
Yeah, it was like right after she left. He was. Anakin was just pissed about it. Honest to God, if they were, I know they're talking about doing a Kenobi season 2. They should have that as the opening scene for Kenobi season 2, or throw that into Ahsoka. Just like some form of context. Just recreate that with live action people doing that scene, because that scene is so good.
But yeah, so we end up with Maul basically just being tortured, and then we get that comic thing. So I think his introduction, I will say this, I think his introduction into the Clone Wars and then like the continuation after, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, the Clone Wars isn't very long in terms of like the season doesn't have like a shit ton. Each season doesn't have a shit ton of episodes. So like you have to make these little condensed storylines of like 2 to 3 episodes.
Wait, are you talking about pertaining to specific character story arcs or the whole season as a whole?
Yes. The whole of Clone Wars is like little condensed stories of like 3 to 4 episodes.
I was like, because they're like 22 episodes a season, I think. It's like something like that.
Yeah, like
it's like 26 episodes. And I know where you're coming from, Kevin, because in the beginning of the show, it was more like Jedi battle of the week sort of thing. Nothing was
yeah.
really connected. It was more like,
Look at these wacky clones in
Yeah.
weird scenarios. Jar Jar's
and
here.
there was always like a wholesome lesson to be learned after every episode,
Yeah.
and then it got
It
progressively
was
more
like,
dark as we
remember,
grew with the
Ahsoka,
show.
you too can be strong one day, and then the music would play.
But the Maul stuff is like that's when they started doing the condensed like little stories that they tried to connect a little bit.
Again,
And
it's
this one,
when
I
Mom and
think
Dad
they
left
did
the room by season 2.
Yeah, I think this was a great job of bringing a character back, and like not pushing the character too much, too much, like too little. Like it was just enough to like capture you to want to see this character more, and then like a little bit of in between time frame, and then you should see them again. And like obviously we'll talk about season 7, but like he plays a huge role in season 7, very prominent role. But like for this, like it really does bring you to be like, oh, I want to see more of him. You know what I mean? It was just enough to tickle the brain to say, I need more.
You could probably thank Sam Witwer a lot for that, because Sam repeatedly,
totally.
And this is infamous for Sam. He is infamous for telling Dave, the only guy to tell Dave that he's wrong about certain pieces of lore.
Not infamous.
Because sorry, wrong choice of words. He's famous for that, because all the other VAs and stuff are just like, I don't want to say anything to Dave about my opinions of this character, because he's the genius. He's the guy who knows about all the lore and stuff. But then like he makes a couple mistakes, and then Sam's like, well, actually, this happened and this happened. Like in the episode where Anakin meets the father and the son and the daughter. Well, he has a nightmare when he's sleeping in the father's castle, and Anakin is like, he's having a dream about his mom, and he says, "Oh, I want you to meet my wife, Padme. I wish I could save you." And then Dave's like, "All right, let's do the take, let's do it." And then Sam's just like, "Wait a minute, actually, Dave, Padme met Anakin's mom in episode 1. They had dinner together," and he's just like, "Fuck, okay, let's not do that." But I remember that. And Sam is famous for doing that to a bunch of stuff, probably more stuff than we even know. Because Sam doesn't want to say too much, that he's maybe like, yeah, Dave just forgets everything like Akira Toriyama all the time.
Well, but I think the big thing here about not just like Filoni, but I think a big thing, like, and I have said this about Sam like quite a lot.
Bring back Starkiller, baby, in Ahsoka season 2.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. He is not just somebody who like is a Star Wars nerd, and he's like, yeah, I'm a Star Wars nerd. I can write for Star Wars. He loves Star Wars, and so he's invested in it, and he wants it to succeed, and he loves it as like a baby, right? Like it is his story that he also like really gives a shit about. Like he's now been involved. He plays 3 characters already. I think more now. But like that's the thing.
Dude, he played Sidious.
Yeah,
as well.
That's the thing. He gives a shit so much that he will like sit around the writer's room and he will do kind of stuff like that. And that's what I think is like about this show and about like this character. Like he loved it so much that he wanted it to succeed, and so like he clearly put the efforts in. Right? You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What did you guys think of his introduction in this? Like, did you guys think it was handled okay? Like, how did you, at least for this, like, not season 7, but like for this section, like, how did you guys?
You mean in season 5? You mean his introduction in 5, or just the
like,
whole thing?
Yeah. No, it's just 5 and 6. Like, because like I mean, obviously, like what I said was like I think it was enough, right? It wasn't too much saturation. I thought it was perfect.
I think that bringing back a character that was killed in such a brutally noticed way, and giving him like an actual backstory and like interesting character development is not easy to do. Looking at you, Boba Fett. And I think that they actually did this one really, really well.
And most importantly, they didn't just say somehow Maul returned.
Yeah,
they
that's
actually gave a legitimate reason, and they backed it up with maybe like, I don't know, actually showing us, take notes, Disney. Okay? Actually showing us
take notes about
how he returned.
Yeah.
Well, no, here's the thing. They explained it perfectly, Kev, but you got to remember, you had to be playing Fortnite 2 weeks before.
Actually,
it came
I
out
do play Fortnite, but I did not play Fortnite at that time. I am an avid player now.
So of course, so you're just a big fan, and then you didn't watch.
So
the
is it fair to say that
Fortnite
Fortnite is a canon game in the Star Wars universe? Is that a thing?
Technically.
If I go to the local Star Wars arcade, if I was a child in Star Wars, I could play Fortnite.
I hate that. Oh God, I hate.
Listen,
I want to play it on the
new
new console, the Galaxy Sphere. It's like the GameCube, but it's a sphere, and it's
spherical.
It's spherical, and the galaxy's in it. Oh.
Let's
play
as
Sidious
canon
Cart.
as the guys who work at Disney World are also canon. I had a buddy tell me that he's like, all the workers at Galaxy's Edge are technically canon characters.
Oh, by the way, did you guys hear? Completely off topic. Galaxy's Edge is bringing Vader and the OT back, they're getting rid of. Well, I don't know if they're getting rid of Kylo Ren, but they're like stepping back from the sequels and they're bringing back the OT.
So
and old merch. They're bringing back like old Stormtrooper merch. They're bringing back like OT merch. I am so fucking excited. I have still not gone to Galaxy's Edge, but I am very excited that's happening. Slowly,
we'll do a company trip.
Fuck yes, I'm down.
From what I've heard at like Disney, I think whatever the one in California is, the plan is to like take a section of the park area and make it OT, and then keep the sequel trilogy like closer to Rise of Resistance.
Is that what's
like
happening?
Rey
I thought it
and
was the whole park was transitioning slowly. You know, because they're already doing
like,
construction in some places. They're shutting down.
I think
parks.
for now the plan is to like once they're like halfway through, they're gonna like still keep it over there. I have a feeling like Rise of the Resistance is gonna be changed to Rise of the Rebellion in like 5 years, and they're gonna like put Vader where
bring freaking Andor in there. Hell yeah,
bro!
Oh my God,
they should have They should have the Vader scene, and you can participate.
Look at how excited he is.
Okay, take fucking notes, Disney. Okay, I want to be stabbed brutally by Vader while handing the freaking plans over in the door. I would pay $200 for that. Fuck yes, to be an experience. Actually, make me Vader. Actually, I cosplay as him. Make me be Vader.
All right. So essentially, I think we all liked Maul. I think we liked his introduction into Clone Wars. But yeah, so we're gonna hit up on season 7 here shortly, and then we got that Maul show coming out. I'm really pumped to start talking about that. I really am.
I'm like 200% more excited now after I like rewatched those episodes with you. Right? Yeah. I've been like supercharged, and I can remember certain things that I forgot about. You know, 'cause it's been a hot minute since I watched those episodes.
Like, oh my God, I love this part. I was like, yeah. I didn't watch it as recently as you guys, but like I had a compilation playing when I was working on some episode stuff earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna hit right.
And I think the big thing here to note is like these 2 seasons where he shows up, not season 7, but these 2 seasons are really important for the Maul show because this is the start of his syndicate shit. Like this is him building his crime syndicate like right at the beginning. We've seen it. We see him building it. The Maul show is not like an introduction to him doing that. He's already done it.
Yep.
And you know what's crazy about Maul? He doesn't really like, if you've noticed, he doesn't really like make his own syndicate. He forges alliances with everyone. And before that, I think they all just fucking hated each other. And then Maul was like, you know, you have like the toxic family that stays together because the grandpa like keeps it, but when he dies, they're all just like, go fuck yourselves, and they just rip each other apart. That's Maul. Maul is like literally the Godfather. Okay, that keeps the families together. Okay, yeah, exactly. Gabagoo. Okay,
I like that.
You think about it, yeah.
Well, on that note, I'd say we're good to go. Thank you very much for listening. Again, you can check us out on all your socials. You can email us at thelostcantinapod@gmail.com. I'm really pumped for this show. Like, this is going to be a really fun show.
And I'm excited to watch it with you guys.
Yes. We're going to hit up season 7 soon. But yeah, thank you again for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Ta-ta.
May the force be with you.